So when to man within 6 months, not 90% of Muamugu party mu ye. Because in the history of world politics, party BNY when 38%. As far as I know, in the history of world politics, candidate BNY when 38%. That alone should tell you, say the NPP at least should sit and say that we need to accept the reality, speak about the reality, and allow people to help us. But this is a situation where NPP and that's my problem with that party. Enkorane Jimmy. So it becomes difficult for Enkorano to listen to Impenifono wisdom, and it becomes so difficult for Impenifono to be wise because and when you listen to the NPP on why they lost the elections, we NPP 4-5. Now some say, how tell us lose the election now. Nipa 5 will be about different reasons. And then Nipa 5 KQ, when you take the national executives, those contesting and those already there, now we 5-5, they will all give you different reasons for losing election 2024. So there's a big problem in the party. Enkorane Jimmy and a penifona about them. Now, and the NPP for say omo ye event to be or Dankwa Institute omo a name on the 2026 Liberty Lecture. And remember, anytime you are a dear friend of Dankwa Institute, you know, whatever comes out from that institute is tribalism, capitalism, vindictiveness, and lies. And that is the 4 pillars of Dankwa Institute. Capitalism, vindictiveness, corruption. They are basically an institute. It is filled with tribal bigots who feel so entitled. When you see any other tribe person who is being hailed by the Dankwa Institute, you know, now it means they have gotten another dog they can use, like Richard Ahiagba. It is what Dankwa Institute, Gabi Ochredako, Ken Ofuriata, Nanado Dankwa Kufuado, Omobusianfo no motesa Dankwa Institute, you know, to come and do what? Whitewash Ekufuado's criminality, his father's criminality, and also make people think, say, almost our group, you know, they are entitled and they are supposed to be given position. And that is the basis for Dankwa Institute. Omo Dankwa Institute to come and help Ghana in anything. Omo Dankwa Institute, because of their selfish interest, the arrogance and the pure stupidity of feeling first-class citizen than others. And that is what Dankwa Institute, what's here? Because since I was starting, you know, on the Dankwa Institute, they have been part of any progressive conversation. It has always been about, they took this from us. It has always been about, it has always been about, we are better than people. It has always been about, they can't show their certification. Dankwa Institute, it was built to clean the dirty job of Ofuriata's father and his grandfathers. That Ofuriata Kronfobina, that is what it represents. It's to clean a particular group of people who feel so entitled and think they are better than even their own relatives. Don't get it wrong when you hear Dankwa Institute. It is not anything that is put together to help have a dialogue to move this nation forward. No, it is one of the most tribal, arrogant, selfish, tribalistic, corrupt group from the Dankwa Institute. So it's all about validation. They want validation. They want people to accept them, say they are not criminals. They want people to believe them, say they are more knowledgeable. They want people to think, say they have a space in our political settings. It is all about trying to belong. The inferiority complex in those people, because any better record, greedy. All that they want to do is snitch on people, feed on people like insects or leeches. All that they do is always trying to put people's head together. No? That is Dankwa Institute. So what is a Dankwa Institute? Dankwa Institute, it is all for validation. And still, for years and years, they have tried to infiltrates our democratic dispensation, they have still not been able to break that because we see them, at least Oforiata Kromfowe, Gabi Ochidako Kromfowe, which very soon we will all know. And the likes of Ataxia and the Omohineno. So these are born liars. That's basic. That's it. Now, almost all event to be. Team, stay with me. Now, event, was about election, but you see, they are doing everything possible to lie to Bawumia. They still feel Bawumia, with all due respect, is an idiot. And from the way Bawumia too is nodding and laughing and finding it difficult to make decisions, he looks like an idiot, with all due respect. Now, Mustafa Hamid, a potential jailbird, a potential jailman, another criminal, named the NPA, and the original court per OSP's documentation. He's being investigated, he's being prosecuted. So technically, Mustafa Hamid is not different for Jema Untumi because Untumi is still being prosecuted and being investigated. The same as Mustafa Hamid. It's Mustafa Hamid. Or Chai Untumi ana Odafie na Untumi down Sawum. He will join Untumi at Insawum. Now, Mumianko tie statement to be Mustafa Hamid made today in front of Gabi Ochedako. Gabi go jail and Chebia Mubati. In front of Gabi Ochedako. In front of Nanado Danko Ekufuado. Ena Eyede Mahamudu Sledge Bawumia. In front of these three people. Mumianko tie, ye are not NPP for the reality. Maybe they're struggling or they just don't want people to tell them the truth. And I'm catching about how the party is divided. Yet the caucus in parliament, how they all want African marking changed, how Mahmoud Bawumia is thinking of changing African. And let me tell you, after they are done with their national and general secretary election, they will change African marking and tell the world that it is all about the regional balance. I'm telling you today. After they are done with their national elections, no more national chairman, no more general secretary, they will change African marking and they will give him that excuse to say it is because of regional balance. They will change him. We change African marking after the national elections. Amu person omu yi omu chairman we, amu person omu yi omu general secretary. The moment they are done, omu change African marking, omu catch and say a regional balance into the parliament one ye yi ne free African they will change you. But let's go to the real issues, or the real issue, which is Mustafa Hamid speaking in front of Mahamudu Sledge Bawumia and Gabi Ochedako and Ekufuado. Now, let's go listen to him very well. And he was talking about the election they lost. Mahmoud Bawumia being a Muslim. And the Komininis, he was saying, NPP for ADB. Because it looks like still they are very foolish.
Choosing a presidential candidate who happened to be a Muslim in 2024 did not in any way turn the majority of Muslims in Ghana from voting for the NDC. In fact, the polling station near the Kumasi Central Mosque at Asawase did not vote the NPP, even after Dr. Bawumia refurbished that mosque and commissioned it in 2023. So the electoral geography largely explains why the present NDC administration has appointed many more Muslims from northern Ghana than previous NPP administrations. In 2024, President Mahama secured approximately 1.38 million votes, more than 1/5 of Mahama's national votes from Savannah, Northern, Upper East, Upper West, and Northeast alone, 21% of his entire national tally of 6.5 votes. Such political realities will inevitably influence the regional compositions of government. Dr. Bawumia, on the other hand, received a total tally of 759,108 from those 5 regions, which is 15.56% of his national tally. Thus, fewer than 1 in every 6 of Bawumia's nationwide votes came from the 5 northern regions. You cannot therefore dishonestly repackage this evidence to prophesy that electing Dr. Bawumia on an NPP ticket will certainly shift the balance of power from the South, and from Christians to Muslims. In fact, Dr. Bawumia's tolerance for Christian religious ceremonies has often incurred him the displeasure of sections of the population. Indeed.
So, also, I can say NPP for Jimia or say Mimuadie for Hamid. And the NPP as a political party still think, say, Mahamudu Bawumia getting 38% in 2024 elections, you know, it is because he's a Muslim. This is my biggest problem with party, you know. They are all can you say, Mahamudu Bawumia, and yet because you're a Muslim, you know, lose the election. No, there is what they're trying to put out there, and they say, in Kremofua Bawumia lost election 2024 because he's a Muslim. And that is something that NPP form pedifo no jiminti, they still cannot move away from it to let the grassroots, their own piglets on the streets, who don't read, who are tribal, who are stupidly ignorant to understand, say, Mahamudu Bawumia did not lose the elections because he's a Muslim. Mahamudu Bawumia lost the elections on two grounds. Bawumia lost the elections because Mahamudu Bawumia was seen and known as a liar. And secondly, Mahamudu Bawumia lost the elections because of your bad governance. These are the two things. There are other things that are minor, corruption, arrogance, but the main things I'm for Gina so the two about Bawumia Muslim, but a liar. You people through the government in the Republic of Ghana. Because now Kenya Bawumia or my hope say 18 a later country. Now Ghana's inflation 3. We never told Mahamudu Bawumia the liar over told us he's in charge of our finances because the economic management team he was in charge. Obi NPP not the Jimmy Kajo say Bawumia or losing Kremofo to her. It is not because of that. The honest truth is that Mahamudu Bawumia lied to Ghanaians. They got to know who Bawumia is. At the latter part of the elections, Bawumia decided not to speak about economy. And Bawumia's trump card in entering Ghana's politics was because he said he was the whiz-kid when it comes to economic affairs. But going into election 2024, Nasa decided not to even speak about the economy. Then it means Bawumia was an imposter, a liar who lied through the ranks to become a running mate and a vice president. And so I don't know why the NPP still think say most Ghanaians went to the ballot because a woman team say Bawumia Yenkreboni na Christopher Ntoma Bawumia. No Christian went to the ballot thinking about Bawumia's religious background. Nobody cared. In fact, who started tribal and religious politics in Ghana? I can show you about 3 videos where Bawumia went to places telling them that he has been chosen as the NPP flag bearer because he's a Muslim. And that is the lowest point of our politics, unless you are crazy before you make such stupid statements. And for this junkie, I keep telling people, the reason why I hate Mustafa Hamid is because he always does politics with religion. He does politics with religion. And that is what I hate about this criminal Muslim, with all due respect. Because you see, any Muslim or politics or they assume or a danger to the nation. Any Muslim obey politics or they religion or a danger. This Christian. Any Christian who does politics and tries to sneak in, use a religious background as his trump card, that Christian too is dangerous. Into Mustafa Hamid, his political life has been rallying behind the religious hate politics. Bawumia today, every single Ghanaian knows he's a liar. He's an imposter. Every liar is that is why he supervised the greatest thievery in our political history. As the vice president, we knew Akufo-Addo, or we still knew Akufo-Addo was a toy president who could not see and write and sign. Into the idea, the argument that Bawumia is a Muslim. No. We love Muslims. We admire Muslims in Ghana. We have interfaith marriages. We live in houses as Muslims and Christians. It does not come in at all. It does not come into the argument. The anger towards Bawumia is because he is a liar. That is what you people need to know. So you need to tell him in his face. A guy who came into politics or in any capacity, it is what Bawumia came into politics as an economist, as a tailor, so you want to call him. He is who through his submissions and also his ideas, we will be able to manage the economy well. We ended up at IMF. We saw the ship Mahamud saying to Ghana, and that is something it's hard to say to him, but you need to say to him. And if I can tell you for a fact, Ghanaians haven't changed their mind about Bawumia. Nobody will change their mind about Bawumia because he's still the same person. He has not come out to even say, I am sorry for lying to you people. He has not had that or respect for Ghanaians to do that. When was the last time Bawumia spoke on the economy? He's waiting to pin to Ghana for him to foolishly come in. Him touches. We want to show whatever he print today, he can do better. He can't beg you. Stop and trying to polish Bawumia. Bawumia technically is a liar who cannot get out of. He has been cursed as a liar, and he will live in his life. Mahamudu Bawumia, upon all that is happening in Ghana, cannot come because he lied his way through. Because no. Let me tell you something. 90% of Inkrimu they didn't go to vote because Bawumia Inkrimunia and Mahama Yekri all that. The basic line is that one time that's finished. 24. They wanted to give a heart to somebody and trust because they have weighed politicians and how they talk, lived life. Consistently, they have learned what is behind politics. Of Muslims, Christians, they didn't go to the ballot to say, Eshemitrim, Baumi, and Christian be called ballot, say, oh, Baumi, intimate to my moment, I'll go to about the thing, DDEP, a baby a dollar war, a petrol war. These were the things they were thinking about. Like, who we have given it today, I am buying fuel for, and give my country back to such a liar. That is what based on. Look at the map, 2024 map. Ghana elections, presidential regional results. Now look at any food people went to vote is a Muslim. People voted against him because he's a Muslim. When you look at these regions, NP3, ask yourself, are they the other regions, this should clearly tell you, you fools talking there and making it look like Bawumia is not to be blamed. Bawumia is to be blamed because the candidate does not have to convince a blind, with all due respect, because every single thing he does is full of lies. This is presidential regional results 2024. Now, when you take your time and you look at the numbers, let me expand it. Send me a question. Kevin, now let me expand it. Now you see the numbers. Look at the numbers very well. When you go all the way to the left top corner, we have Upper West region. Total vote 236,657. All these people there, you think that they went to vote against Bawumia? All because Bawumia is a Muslim? But that is green. How many Muslims are in Upper West? How many Muslims live in Upper West? You want to tell me every Muslim in Upper West hates Bawumia? You want to underestimate and undermine the intelligence of Muslims in Ghana? Now you move to the right, Upper East. 469,789. Are they all against Bawumia because he's a Muslim? Do you know the number of Muslims in Upper East? Let's talk about Northeast, where Bawumia is from. 62,688 total votes that was recorded there. I'm asking you, are they all Muslims who hate Bawumia? This is the reality here. The reality is that Bawumia cannot be trusted, and he still cannot be trusted because he's a liar. And you people came into office, turned the whole country into 16 regions. When we had 10 regions, we could not even manage. In Kwasia 47, we turned into 16 regions. Today, you are saying Muslims, people hate, Christians voted against Bawumia because he's a Muslim. We are talking about even the northern region, Upper East, Upper West. We're talking about Northeast. We are talking about Muslim-dominated areas. Why? You want to try and say, Sebio, you think they all went to vote because they hate Bawumia? Bawumia is a Muslim like them. But they know Bawumia is a liar, and every liar is a thief. Now you come all the way down. Northern region, total vote, 882,000. There are so many Muslims in the northern region. How many votes did Bawumia get? Edian Kwasia argument in Mustafa Hamek Moya in the name of cleaning Mahmoud Bawumia.